To inspect the wheels and brake system and perform a tire rotation on your Sportsman 450, follow these steps. Take a close look at each tire. Verify there is sufficient tread depth. Tires should be replaced once they reach 1/8 inch or 3 millimeters of tread depth. Inspect for damage that may compromise the integrity of the tire. Next, inspect the tire pressure and verify it is set to specification. Reference the owner's manual or tire pressure label on your vehicle for the correct specs. Lastly, take a close look at how the tires are wearing. If there is irregular wear, it may be time for a rotation. Next, inspect the fluid level and condition in the front master cylinder, located on the left handlebar. A flashlight can be used to illuminate the reservoir in dark areas. If fluid is needed, clean the area with a clean cloth. Then, remove the 2 cover fasteners. Lift the cover and diaphragm off and set aside. Do not allow brake fluid to contact painted surfaces or paint damage may occur. Add fluid as needed. Do not overfill. Then, reinstall the diaphragm, cover, and fasteners. Torque the fasteners to specification. Next, lift up on the rear of the seat and pull back to remove. Inspect the fluid level and condition in the rear brake reservoir. Add fluid as needed. A flashlight can be used to illuminate the reservoir in dark areas. Reinstall the seat by aligning the front retaining tabs and pushing down in the rear. Next, begin removing the tires by loosening the lug nuts before the vehicle is off the ground, but do not remove. Then, safely elevate the vehicle. Reference your owner's manual for proper lifting techniques. Next, remove the lug nuts and set aside. Then, remove the wheels and set aside. Follow the front brake lines from the front reservoir to the front junction block in the center of the chassis frame in front of the fuel tank. Continue inspecting the brake lines to both front calipers, looking for any leaks, kinks, or damage. Also, ensure the brake line retainers are properly secured. Inspect the connections at the front brake calipers for leaks or damage. Next, take a look at the brake pads and rotors. Always allow the brakes to cool completely before inspecting to prevent the risk of burns. Check the brake pad thickness using a suitable tool. Be sure to check the thickness on the inside pads as well. And replace any pads that are worn beyond their minimum thickness. Also, use a brake rotor measuring tool to measure the thickness of the brake rotors and replace if worn below the minimum thickness. Next, follow the brake lines back to the rear of the vehicle, looking for leaks, kinks, and damage. Inspect the connections at the junction block in the rear of the chassis frame. Continue following the brake lines to the rear brake calipers, ensuring the brake line retainers are properly secured. Also, inspect the connections at the rear brake calipers. If inspection reveals any concerns, do not attempt to drive the vehicle. See your authorized Polaris service center. Next, the tires can be rotated if applicable and reinstalled. Due to different configurations, some wheels may not be able to be rotated. Always pay attention to all markings and directional indicators on the tires. Begin by installing the wheels on the vehicle and hand tightening the lug nuts. Then, safely lower the vehicle until the tires begin to touch the ground. This will help keep the wheels in place when torquing. Once lowered, torque the lug nuts to specification in a crisscross pattern. Finally, lower the vehicle completely. For more information, see your authorized Polaris dealer or visit Polaris.com.